You're grinding, posting workouts, sweating every week, putting in the reps. But then you walk into a party and nobody clocks you as the guy who trains. You look the same as someone who hasn't touched a weight in years. That's a brutal feeling, and most people avoid it instead of fixing it. Let's be real for a second. Effort alone doesn't build an impressive body. Strategy does. You can work hard for years and still spin your wheels if you're missing the fundamentals that actually trigger growth. The good news is this isn't about genetics or luck. It's about understanding how your body really works. When you line up training, recovery, and nutrition with biology, results stop being random and start being predictable. Most people train way too fast. They chase rep counts like it's a competition. 20 reps, 30 reps, 50 reps, none of it matters if the muscle never feels real tension. Muscles don't count reps. They respond to time under tension. That's the game. If you rush through movements, you're stealing growth from yourself without realizing it. The fix is simple but uncomfortable. Slow everything down. Control the lowering phase. Pause at the bottom. Drive up with intent. Make every rep deliberate. 10 clean reps done slow will do more than 50 sloppy ones. When you slow down, something wild happens. The muscle lights up. The burn hits deeper. Your body gets the signal loud and clear. Adapt or fall behind. Now here's where most people quit too early. They hit failure and stop the set. But here's the truth. Your muscles aren't done. Your leverage is. That's where mechanical drop sets come in. You start with the hardest version of an exercise. When that fails, you instantly switch to an easier variation. No rest. No excuses. Think decline push-ups to regular push-ups to incline push-ups. One set becomes 3 growth triggers. Same muscle, non-stop tension, 0 wasted time. This is how you squeeze more results out of the same workout. No extra volume, no extra time, just smarter execution. Now let's talk recovery, because this is where most gains quietly die. You can train perfectly and eat clean, but if your recovery sucks, your body won't grow. Sleep isn't optional, it's the real anabolic window. That's when growth hormone spikes, testosterone resets, and muscle fibers actually rebuild stronger. If your sleep is trash, your progress will be too. Simple as that. Treat sleep like training. Dark room, cool temperature. Screens off before bed. Soreness that hangs around for days isn't a badge of honor. It's a sign you're not recovering well enough to train again. And if you can't train again, you can't grow. That's where cold exposure comes in. Short, controlled cold showers can help reduce inflammation and reset your nervous system so you bounce back faster. Faster recovery means more quality sessions per week. More quality sessions means faster progress. It's not magic, it's math. Now let's clear up one of the biggest nutrition myths out there. Protein timing isn't as dramatic as people make it sound. Your body doesn't panic if you miss some tiny window. What actually matters is consistency. Hitting your daily protein target day after day. That's the real driver of muscle growth. For most people, that's roughly 0.7 to 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. Spread it across a few meals if you can, but the total is what counts. Everyone wants bigger muscles, but what really limits long-term progress is weak joints and tendons. That's the quiet bottleneck nobody talks about. If your connective tissue can't handle the load, your muscles never get pushed hard enough to grow. Joint health isn't optional, it's foundational. That's why supporting tendons matters just as much as building muscle. Strong joints mean fewer injuries, heavier training, and longer consistency. Another underrated game changer is morning sunlight. Getting outside shortly after waking helps lock in your circadian rhythm. That leads to better energy during the day, deeper sleep at night, and healthier hormone levels. All of that feeds directly into better recovery and growth. None of this is flashy, no hype, no shortcuts. But this is the stuff that separates people who look like they train from people who just work out. Most people think growth comes from grinding harder. But if that were true, everyone who trained hard would look jacked. That's clearly not the case. Real results come from working with your body's biology, not fighting it. When the signals are clear, your body adapts fast. If this is making sense so far, hit like and subscribe. Not for the algorithm hype, but so you don't miss stuff that actually moves the needle. Now ask yourself this honestly. Which of these are you already doing, right? And which ones have you been ignoring because they sounded boring? Pick at least 2 of these changes and start today, not next week, not when motivation hits. Today. Once you lock these in, people will start noticing. Not because you told them you trained, but because your body will show it. That's when effort finally pays off. That's when every rep, every meal, and every night of sleep actually counts.